Welcome to the Stringjoy Show. I am Ryan. On February 24th, 2022, Russia shocked the world by invading Ukraine. And the guitar amp market was rocked because a fair amount of our tubes come from Russia. And as a consequence for the invasion, the US and most of Europe severed trade relations with them. Lots of people freaked out. I freaked out. And an email from Mike Matthews of EHX didn't help matters. But now that the dust has settled a little bit, should we still be concerned? I'll speak with Tim Marcus of Milkman Sound, Coleen Fazio of Fazio Electric, and Charles Henry of Silktone to see if we, as consumers, should still be anxious. So how did we get here? Some of it was Russia, some of it was bad timing, but all of it has to do with the fact that vacuum tubes haven't been exactly plentiful for quite some time. Vacuum tube technology is very antiquated. 50 to 60 years ago, everything was powered by tubes, from our TVs to our garage door openers. But as new tech was developed, tubes fell by the wayside and are now mostly used for music amplification. Because of this, we currently have 4 major tube manufacturers servicing the entire globe. In Russia, we have the Saratov plant where EHX tubes are made. There's also the St. Petersburg plant where the Wing C tubes originated. Since we can't trade with Russia, these are off the table. China is a good example of bad timing. The largest tube manufacturer in China burned to the ground, and the new facility will not be ready until December of 2022. So they are also off the table. That leaves us with the Slavic Republic, where JJ is made. And JJ was backordered 18 months before Russia even went to war with Ukraine. This is pretty rough. So let's check in with my friends Tim, Coleen, and Charles. Tim runs Milkman Sound amplifiers. Charles runs Silktone amps. And Coleen runs Fazio Electric, repairing vintage amps and building small runs of her own designs that are super hard to come by. You know, like we have a couple of different tiers of the amp world here where we have, you know, Coleen, you do a lot of repair. Tim, you do a pretty high volume. Charles, you're getting there. How did this affect your business? Coleen, I have to feel like you probably, in the repair world, you probably go through more tubes than Tim or Charles do.
I do go through a lot. Yeah. It was kind of scary at first because people were buying up tubes really quick. And so I was like, oh my gosh, do I have to spend all this money buying a ton of tubes to be able to continue repairing? So I kind of had to decide like how many I wanted to buy.
Charles, you use an interesting or a not common power tube for most of your amps. And at the time, you used primarily KT66 power tubes. And at the time, you felt like you may have dodged a bullet on that. But then I feel like you kind of freaked out.
So it was fine. Yeah, exactly. I felt like I dodged a bullet, and because I was like, oh man, all the 6L6s and EL34s are sold out. Good thing I chose these. And I was a little bit worried about 12AX7s and stuff, but I was pretty stocked up on those, so it wasn't a huge deal. But then, and I was the one talking people off ledges. Like, everyone called me and was like, oh my God, the world's over. What are we going to do? Tubes are done. I could calmly tell them, it's cool, knowing that I have a supply of tubes that people don't use. And then I got more and more and more calls.
It's great.
Right.
It's great from my vantage point.
Yeah. Like, you guys are fine.
Yeah. So basically for me, like, I kind of like saw I kind of had like a premonition maybe like 2 weeks before the email of doom from Mike Matthews. And so I'd like ordered enough that for what I needed for the quarter. Usually, in manufacturing, that's probably some way to repairs. You just kind of like buy what you need. And then when you need more, you just order more of what you need. So like, I don't typically have like a massive volume of tubes here. But I do have like enough to build like 3 months worth of amps, but that's like thousands of tubes. But my friend Donnie at Magic Parts, like, he's like, yeah, that factory is coming back online, and there's this other factory in China that has been producing tubes this whole time. So the whole panic, really, I feel like it was a lot of it was kind of on the retail side. It was a lot of customers emailing me like, I need to get spare tubes for my amp that I just bought from you. And I'm like, no, you absolutely do not.
So, Coleen, I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here. And because you made a statement in Guitar or something magazine, where you had said something to the effect of like, you assume kind of the digital modeling world is gonna eventually go away. And
yeah.
And how do you feel today?
Well, I guess I should clarify, like, I don't think digital amps will ever completely go away. I think they're just gonna be harder to repair as, there's upgrades in technology, and as like parts for certain models of amps become obsolete, like special chips and stuff like that. But I still believe that tube amps will prevail for a long time. I mean, as long as we can continue getting parts. I think that's, why so many people were freaked out about the tube shortage, because they're like, oh my gosh, does this mean like no more tube amps in the future? But I still believe that we'll still be able to repair and build tube amps. A couple weeks ago, I would have said, like, right now, I think I have enough tubes to accommodate all the amps that I have in for repair. The future is a little uncertain about, regarding when there will be more tubes in stock, but as it stands now, I think we're okay. And then now, a couple weeks later, I would probably say the same thing. I just got another shipment of some tubes. So it seems like things are kind of catching up. So I don't think there's like total cause for worry yet. I'm still able to fix everything. I haven't had to turn anything away because of a tube shortage yet.
Awesome.
So that's good news.
That is good news. It's good to keep your job.
Yeah.
I would say to my customers that you have to have faith in just how wily Milkman is and has been this whole time, because it's just me, like I've just been like finding a path through all of this nonsense since, for over 10 years now. And really things like started to go off the rails back in 2017. There was like steel and aluminum tariffs. Things got really wacky. I remember like texting with Chris Benson, like about like steel futures or whatever. And it was just like a straight line up for the cost of like domestic steel. And that's like, that was a problem. And then aluminum was a major problem because they use aluminum chassis. And this is just like one more thing that I've had to negotiate and deal with. But I don't have a board of directors. I don't have any of that crap. It's just me. If things get really bad, I'll just go back to building them on my bed like I started doing. It doesn't matter. Like I do this because I love it, and I'm definitely going to build everyone's amp. It might take a while. It might not. Like, there's always something. It's like Rosanna Dana. Remember her?
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live?
Yes.
She's my spirit animal right now. It's always something. So like, we'll figure it out. We'll get through it. Like,
Right on. So you have it. According to these three, there is no need to freak out. Keep your tube amps. Repair your tube amps. Buy new tube amps. It's all going to be fine. I think Tim said it best when he said not to underestimate how wily Milkman can be. And I think the same can be said for just about anyone in the industry. The musical instrument industry is a tenacious one. And it has to be, because it's a labor of love. These guys love what they're doing. I'd like to thank my three guests, Coleen, Tim, and Charles, for sharing their insights with us, as well as giving us a small glimpse into their everyday lives.